Well, I've been interested in seeing one of these in person since they came out. Big fan of Citizen watches, and when they released the Series 8 line, I was intrigued. I was liking what I was seeing, at least from pictures, but finally have one in today. Actually, two, but for today, we're going to be focusing on the Pepsi GMT. Picked these up downtown Toronto from Gem Bijou the other day and saw just about the entire lineup. I think there was two missing that he has coming in soon, so that was cool to see them all kind of together like that. If you're looking for one of these watches, definitely check out gembijou.com. So let's get to it and take a look at the watch. All right, so Citizen came out with the Series 8 line. I think it's going on almost a year ago now. They have not been a stranger to getting in on the whole integrated bracelet thing with other releases like the Soyosa lately, and these fall into that category of sports watch. The whole lineup has a sporty, modern feel with some interesting dials and color configurations, but this from day one was my favorite. It is a chunky and weighty watch, but it wears surprisingly well. Now, I only have this a few days, so more of an overview than a full review, but really wanted to get this in front of the camera. The dial is a nice summery shade of blue with kind of a slight metallic shimmer depending on how the light hits it. The texture is meant to represent the Tokyo skyline. Not sure about that as a description, but it does look cool. I like the red accent on the GMT text, and the applied hour markers look good and well finished. Over at the 9 is the date framed in steel, and overall, everything looks well balanced and easy to read. The handset, the hours and minutes are folded, so they'll usually catch the light, which helps with legibility as well. And the GMT hand stands out from the crowd with the orange triangular tip. The loom is pretty good. The GMT hand is just a little bit weaker, but I don't think I've ever looked at my watch in the dark wondering what the time was somewhere else. So, yeah, it would look nicer if it was brighter, but not a biggie with that. The bezel is a proper bi-directional GMT bezel with 48 clicks to track a third time zone. It's got a sturdy feeling action, but not much of an audible click. The case has a very tooly look and feel, lots of angles and lines, and it's mostly brushed with some polish work in the mix here too. It does have male end links, but they flow well with the downward turn of the lug, so it does sit well on wrist. The movement is visible through the display case back, and it was kind of surprised that they weren't using the Miyota 9075 here. The movement is the caliber 9054, which is exclusive to Citizen. It's an anti-magnetic high beat movement with a power reserve of approximately 50 hours. The movement is a true or traveler's GMT movement. So if we pop out the crown here, which is a push-pull crown, by the way, to the first position, you can adjust your local hand independently, your local hour hand, either forward or backward. In the last position, you can set the minutes and the GMT hand. The bracelet is well made, nice light play with the polished edges of the center links, and it tapers down to just under 18 millimeters at the clasp. To size, you're dealing with a pin and collar system, which can be a bit of a pain, but it's a one and done thing. The biggest negative has to be the clasp, and it is a well constructed clasp too, but zero micro adjusts. They do give us two half links to help, but I would love to see some way of adjusting this without having to deal with those pin and collars. Size on the watch comes in at a case width of right at 41 millimeters. The lug to lug is 48 millimeters, but with the end links, you're looking at 53.5. Thickness is 13.9 millimeters. Lug opening doesn't matter so much, but if you're looking for a strap that maybe flares out to match the lugs, it is 11 millimeters. The crystal on the watch is sapphire with an anti-reflective coating, and the water resistance is 100 meters. And here it is on my 7.25 inch wrist, and I like it. It's chunky, like I mentioned before, but it's not clunky, if you know what I mean. It sits great on wrist, and I like the overall style of the watch. I also have one of the three-hander models here. This has a beautiful champagne dial. Not sure if I'm going to have time to do a full video on it, but I'll definitely be posting it over on Instagram at TimeToGo 1978. I just have so many watches to get to. The new Seiko 5's video on that coming soon. The Dune Venturas are here as well, all courtesy of Gem Bijou, so keep an eye out for that. But back to the Pepsi, and yeah, very cool watch. Full retail for these is $16.95 USD. And if you're looking for this or any of the other Series 8 models, check out gembijou.com. They just got them in, so if they haven't hit the site, you can send them an email or a call as well. Thanks for taking a few minutes to stop by, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.